Hello everyone. Is it audible? Are you able to see the screen? Just now I'm checking it. Okay, those who have joined now, there is a few announcement. After that, I will move to the lecture. Today is the last day of the unit 5th and also the last day of the microwave engineering subject. 2 units covered in offline classes and completing with 3 units with online. Together combined, it's a 5th unit. Today morning, Prasanna sir just uploaded a few announcement, uploaded a doc file in your Google Classroom. Now, only 1 students are there on Google Classroom. Rest around 20 students are not there in a Google Classroom. First, those are not there in a Google Classroom must join this. Invitation is already sent to everyone. Those who have not there in a Google Classroom, that means they have not accepted the invitations. I am just taking some name such as Binod, just Sohail Khan, Sumit Kumar Sharma, Rajesh Dubey, Harsh Kumar Ranjan, Shashank Gupta, Rishabh Yadav, और शशांक अनदर शशांक, ऋषभ सलूजा, निकेत रोहिला, प्रियंका तरियाल, सूरज, स्वप्निल, and many more. These are the few names who are not there in a Google Classroom, and invitation is already sent to their mail. Those who know them, just call and send the message to must accept the Google Classroom invitation and join the Google Classroom. From day after tomorrow or onward tomorrow, there will be one question posted every day, that known as question of the day in the Google Classroom. It's mandatory to everyone to participate of that questions. If let's suppose the question is posted regarding the unit 5th, you need to solve it and solve it in your copy with the correct your roll number, name, and just take a photo and upload individually. And attendance is also monitoring through Impartus as well as Google Classroom. Those who are active in Google Classroom, send the quiz, send all the things. There will be attendance. Definitely, there will attendance will mark on that particular day. And a few days ago, I have made an announcement that do not upload the quiz and assignment on Google Classroom. Strictly, no one upload the quiz and assignment on Google Classroom. Why I'm saying that? If one of them is uploaded, another definitely copy it. So don't do this. There is a separate mode of sending. That is, you can send all the quiz and assignment to the respective teacher through a mail. That will be only valid with a valid pattern. And section A student, I have sent all the marks to everyone. Those have not received, only 1 or 2. Definitely they will receive the marks in coming days. So everyone must attend the quiz, and assignment. Also from tomorrow onward, question of the day will be posted in Google Classroom. Again, I'm repeating it. One question will post in Google Classroom every day. You need to solve it and upload the answer on the comment section with roll number and your name. And Prasanna sir uploaded about the doc file about the examinations. You just go through this, and any queries related to that post it on the group. We'll discuss. Definitely we'll discuss Today's topic is frequency meter, frequency measurement, and the numerical of the unit fifth. Let's start with the topic. This is the frequency meter you have seen in the laboratory. Also, you have performed from 1 to 5th experiment where you have seen the frequency meter in the microwave test bench. In a microwave test bench, you have performed the first find out the TE10 frequency. Another, study the microwave test bench, and the rest 2, 3. So frequency meter is one of the component used in a microwave test bench. This is the figure of frequency meter. You have know about this. With a bold red line, you can measure here. This give the value in gigahertz range. Here is the figure about this. This is the cavity type frequency meter, where there is a calibrated plunger is there, back chamber, coupling iris, and through hole it connected up through a waveguide. This is the here you can see this frequency meter in microwave test bench. First the klystron power supply, then klystron, the isolator, the attenuator. After that frequency meter, then slotted line carries, then it connected to the VSWR meter and CRO. Typically you have seen like this. And in exam, there is a question asked about study the write down the just explain the microwave test bench. Then you need to explain each and every component and combine together and what are the function of this. Then frequency meter. What is the function of frequency meter? To first measure the frequency corresponding the wavelength. And the typical figure is this, and corresponding you can measure like this. In cavity type frequency meter this. And question is that how does a frequency meter? Question is that how does a frequency meter work? Shumit, you must accept the Google Classroom invitation. You have just check your mail and accept that and join this already. Frequency meter are also called wave meter. If in examination asks about the wave meter, do not confuse about this. Wave meter and frequency meter both are same. It form a cylindrical cavity. The cylindrical cavity forms a resonators. Frequency meter work as a cylindrical cavity. The cylindrical cavity forms a resonators that produce a suck out in the frequency response of the unit. Frequency meters work in the principle of cylindrical cavity. First line is this. Now the portions, it forms a resonators. It behaves as resonators when it produces a suck out in the frequency response of the unit. In the frequency response, produce the resonance like this. This you would turn the knob until a dip in the response is observed. What you have performed in laboratory, just recall this. When you need to measure the wavelength, you need to measure the VSWR through using the empirical formula lambda g upon pi d2 minus d1. d2 minus d1 is the distance between the two minimum point or two maxima point. Two minima point or two maxima point. Just recall the experiment 1 or 2. Experiment 1 is a study 2 where you need to measure the VSWR. That time, what you observe? First, you can just see the fine sawtooth wave or some rectangular wave in the CRO. Then you just turn the knob of the frequency meter until it forms until it resonant. What does it mean? At resonance, the energy of electrical and magnetic energy both are same. That you need that times you see that there is a dip At the time, at that D point, you need to take the measurement of that frequency. The how frequency meter work? The work in the principle of cylindrical cavity resonator. When you turn the knob, when you just after turning the node, you find there are some deep in the waveform. That note that deep point and just note down the frequency. That the particular frequency you just measured out. Here the mention is an adjustable plunger is used to change the size of the cavity. If you change the size of the cavity to increase it and to accommodate or the higher frequency also, the adjustable plunger is used to change the size of the cavity. The graduations will tell you what frequency you are at. The sensation as a changing just tell you the frequency you are at. The frequency range of the frequency meter is decided by the tuning range of the cavity. Clearly mentioned is the tuning frequency range depend upon the tuning range of the cavity. And the waveguide frequency meter use a short circuit resonant cavity which resonate at half wavelength lambda by 2. This is a remarkable point. Just note down it. Waveguide frequency meter use a short circuit resonant cavity which resonate at half wavelength. The typical HP made this. The HP 536A measured frequency in the range of 940 megahertz. That means 940 into 10 to the power 6 hertz to 4.2 gigahertz. And the HP 537A, this was about the half the size of the 536 previous one and covered the frequency range from 3.7 gigahertz to 12.4 gigahertz. So you can see these are the two specifications for the frequency meter. According to the requirement, we can use any one of them. This is the all about the frequency meter. So what is the application of frequency meter? Applications, it used to measure the frequency in the laboratory. Measure the frequency or wavelength. This is the university questions. Now move to the next segment of this today's lecture is frequency measurement. How frequency is measured. Just see, this is the university paper. Or tomorrow onward, on Thursday, revision will start. On first day, I will take the lectures. Day after tomorrow, I will discuss about the sessional paper first. Then what the common mistakes are there. And after discussing the sessional paper, we'll discuss the 2018-9 university paper. Everyone must present there so that they will know how to write the correct answer of the any questions and how to attempt it to secure a good marks. Here you see the first with the help of functional diagram, external working principle of two cavity. I'm not going on this right now. My point is to check the second part, 6B. What are the various methods for measuring frequency? Discuss them in detail. This is the 7 marks question. The maximum marks is 7 marks, where the questions examiner asks about the what are the various methods for measuring frequency. Let's see what are the various methods. Microwave frequency measurement. Microwave frequency can be measured by either mechanical or electronic techniques. In quiz, there is a questions. Microwave frequency is measured using mechanical technique, electronic technique, both A and B, and none of the above. The answer will be both mechanical or electronic technique. The mechanical technique, two techniques. Mechanical technique is first slotted line technique, Second, resonant cavity technique or wave meter technique method, and electronic technique is down conversion method. These are the three methods. First is slotted line technique method. Another is wave meter method, that's frequency meter method. Last is down conversion method. These are the three methods, and first two categorize in the come in the category of mechanical method, and last come in the category of electronic method. Let's see one by one. First, slotted line technique. This technique you have used in laboratory to find out the guided wavelength. You all aware about this? Let's see how it works. This is the portions. This is the, let's see the graph. This is the sine waveform, where see this is the maxima of the positive half and this is the maxima of negative half, means negative half. The distance between two maxima, the distance between two maxima is lambda g by 2, because we know that distance between from here to here is lambda. That means the wavelength. Lambda is here the guided wavelength, and our perspective about the two maxima, that is also known as two minima method. This is the maxima to maxima or to minima to minima. The standing wave set up in a slotted lines produce a maxima or minima. The minima is at every half wavelength apart from the maxima. This is the portions. The detector is inserted into the slotted line and detect output is observed on a standing wave meter. The distance between maxima and minima, d min, is noted. We have just performed the experiment where we mentioned d2 minus d1. d2 minus d1. We just set the slotted line at the minima first. Then we move it further. It comes to the maxima. Then again move. It comes to the minima. I measure both the points using the vernier caliper reading was mentioned in the slotted line technique, and noted the point in millimeters. That will equal to lambda g by 2. Here d min is the distance between the two successive minima, lambda g by 2 d min, and put the value here. Lambda g gives in the form of this. Lambda is equal to lambda naught 1 upon lambda naught upon lambda c ka whole square, or either you use this formula or use the formula 1 upon lambda naught ka whole square is equal to 1 upon lambda g whole square plus 1 upon lambda c whole square. By using either you use the second formula, this one, second equation's formula, or use the formula 1 upon lambda naught whole square is equal to 1 upon lambda g whole square, or 1 upon plus 1 upon lambda c ka whole square. Here by using this you can find out the g here lambda g. But what is the lambda c? Lambda c is a critical frequency. That's cutoff frequency, not critical, it's a cutoff frequency. For the TE10, that is the dominant mode, the cutoff frequency lambda c is equal to 2 into broader side dimension. Broader side dimension, that is a 2a. Here simply put the formula lambda c is equal to 2a. By solving this, it's give the lambda naught by putting the value lambda naught c upon lambda naught, that is give the value of frequency, where c is the velocity of light. The value of this is 3 into 10 to power 8 meter per second, or 299,792,458 meter per second up to the 9 correct digit. By using this method is known as slotted line technique. This method is known as slotted line technique method. Here unknown frequency f is equal to NFC, that's coming in the form harmonic generator, minus f naught. Simply from here you just measure the frequency. Let's see here, you need to have a setup of all the things. Here the frequency meters come in a small, it take a small size and easily fit in the microwave test bench. So if you use the mechanical technique, much easier than here is, it is also one of the good techniques, but you need to have a setup like this. If you have a setup, then you give also accurate measurement. But in the case of mechanical reading, in the mechanical type, you just check the frequency meter. There sometimes there is a mismatch, sometimes there is an error, there is human error. But here there is a this type of, if the instrument is properly calibrated, then you will see the good result here. This is all about the frequency measurement. Till now we have studied two things. First is frequency meter, another is how the microwave frequency is measured. What are the various methods to measure the frequency at microwave range? By using the two techniques, one is mechanical technique, another is electronic technique. Mechanical techniques, there's a two subtypes. One is slotted line carriage technique, another is wave meter technique, that is frequency meter, and the electronics method, that is a down conversion method. In first slotted line carriage, simply the distance between the two minima or two maxima is equal to the half wavelength apart. Is equal to the half wavelength. Here the guided wavelength lambda g by 2. It's give equal to d2 minus d1. By using the formula, this formula you have read in a first unit. In frequency it comes fc upon f naught. In a wavelength it comes lambda naught upon lambda c. Just caution here. Or if you forget this formula, then don't worry about this. We have another formula, that is 1 upon lambda naught whole square. 1 upon free space wavelength square is equal to 1 upon cutoff wavelength square plus 1 upon guided wavelength square. By using this formula, you can easily find out. Someone use this method, this formula, someone use the other formula. Whichever is easier, it's up to you, but answer will be same. By using the both technique, answer will be by using both formula, answer will be same. By using the wave meter, simply you just check the deep in the waveform and note down the frequency that time. And how you note down? Note down by this. Take this line, just see where this line is fall, and between these two red line, in between where it fall, just measure this. Here come in the 2, that is come in gigahertz. This is the, simply you can measure like this. Rishabh Saluja just one, okay. Now everyone, I want everyone to start solving the numerical part. The last part of this lecture is numerical. Everyone start solving this, and also comment your answer in the comment section. This is the formula, important formula. Attenuation, how to measure the attenuations. 10 log P input power upon output power. Somewhere it mentioned the technique. You just measure the power before applying the attenuator. You just note down the power before applying the attenuator, and also note down the power after applying the attenuation. This is also the experiment you have performed it. 10 log V in upon P out. In voltage is come 20 log V in upon V out. P in upon input power upon output power. Return loss in the term of reflected power upon incident power. This come in the 20 log this. This is the first formula about the attenuations. How to find out the attenuation. It's okay for all of you? Sir, you Vaibhav just commented what is the unit 5th is not in Google Classroom. Okay, we'll send the notes and all the PPTs in Google Classroom. Don't worry, after finishing this lecture, I will upload the notes of the unit 5th and the PPT of whole, and also the all the faculties is uploading the notes and lectures for that particular lecture somewhere sometimes, and as a whole you can see find out. If not you cannot find out, then I will send it. Don't worry, I have also just sent the link, Google form link to section A. All the students have filled it. It's good. And also Shilpi ma'am sent to the section B students. Section B students also fill the and see already, and everyone have a there. Krishna, you have just joined now. You have to accept the invitations. You have just check your mail where Google Classroom is, link of Google Classroom is given there. You just join there. Just accept the invitation. Krishna and Kritesh. Kritesh is also not there. Vaibhav, you are okay, but I am talking about the Krishna Kumar Rao. Krishna Kumar have not there in a Google Classroom. Those who are not there in Google Classroom must join it. I want all 141 students must be there in Microwave Google Classroom. From tomorrow onward, anyone can post the one of the questions. That will call the question of the day. Everyone must take the questions and solve it accordingly without copying the other, and upload the answer of that particular questions according to your view. And next day I will upload the correct answer, and you can match the answer. How can write out than the exact answers. And those who have engaged their attendance definitely will monitor, and it will also note it down. So keep participating in the question of the day. A question of the day definitely include the previous year question paper as well as the most important questions. So everyone must participate the question of the day. So move to the next slide. That is the VSWR. How to find out the VSWR? That is the empirical formula. This formula you have seen in the lab, where by using the lambda g and d2 minus d1, the distance between two minima, by using the sorted line technique. Just remember this formula VSWR. It will also help in a practical exam. The next is slotted waveguide method. As you have seen this, the first method, the separation between two successive maxima and minima is equal to lambda g by 2. Here just notice that the word is the separation between two successive maxima and minima. And I will also show the language, how the examiner twisted the same word sentence to the another language. Just see. From here you can find out the lambda g by, I'm talking about this formula. 1 upon lambda naught whole square equal to lambda g whole square plus 1 upon lambda c whole square, by using this formula. Or you can use this formula here, lambda c. Either use this formula or this formula. It's up to you. Choose this by using this, and the frequency. Simply after finding the lambda naught and c upon lambda naught, you can find out. Or just put the formula here, f equal to c into, and this formula 1 upon lambda g whole square plus 1 upon 2a upon rule square. If you forget this formula, then simply remember this formula and find out the corresponding lambda g or lambda naught, whatever is there, and c by upon sin upon lambda naught is given the f naught. You can simply find out the free space frequency, that is the frequency according to the free space wavelength. Now move to the questions. Everyone just start solving the questions. Here the question is the power measured with and without attenuator. With attenuator, that means the output. Here you apply the attenuator. Without attenuator, that means the giving the input. And what is the attenuations? Attenuation is 10 log P in upon P out. P in upon P out. Here is a determine the attenuation provided by attenuator. Start solving this. Everyone start solving this. And just what is tell me the answer. What is your answer in? It will come in dB 10 log. Whatever they come, the answer will be in dB. 10 log 35 into 10 to power minus 6 upon 20 into 10 to power 6. That will give the attenuations. Let's see how many have just. Krishna, if you have joined the Google Classroom, but here I'm not seeing your which Google Classroom you have joined. Microwave, control, or other. I'm talking about the microwave, especially talking about the microwave. What is the answer? Everyone just type your answer. The answer, those who have not solved it, let's see how you can solve the questions. Solutions, given that P without is 35, that means this give the P in. You can simply write down P in. P out by applying the attenuator. After applying the attenuator, you just find out the power is 20 milliwatt. Put this. Thou you know both in milliwatt, but thou you know both are milliwatt. After knowing this, definitely just write answer in this form. Do not write the answer 10 log 35.20 only. Give it in a proper form, that is proper cancelled out, that give 35.20. After taking the log multiply by 10, it gives the 2.43 dB in attenuations. Then what is the attenuation? Attenuation is 2.43 dB. Is this clear to everyone? Simarpreet, you just joined now. One is the 20 minutes left, and Harshit also. Is it clear to everyone? Now move to the next question. This is the questions. This question already there in a AKTU exam. AKTU have asked this question in 12-13 around this time. Everyone just try to solve the questions. This is the 10 marks question. Calculate the VSWR of transmission system. Whenever the question is there, a question asked from the unit 5th, and if there's no questions mentions after these questions, then you must solve this numerical. This numerical is only 2 to 3 lines only. It is give you 10 marks or 7 marks. Highest is 7 marks. This give you 7 marks. So I encourage everyone, just go with this formula and you can easily solve the questions. Otherwise you can write the theoretical part. Sometimes there is no options, so you can go with the theory part. If you know the numerical, must attend the numericals. Here, if it correct, it will give the full marks. If it wrong, let's suppose it's wrong, then examiner will evaluate your step and give the marks accordingly after cutting the 1 or 2 marks. It's not a major problems. So I encourage everyone to solve the numerical and just participate in the negative exam with a clear understanding. Let's start solving the questions. Question here mentioned is calculate the VSWR of a transmission system operating at 10 gigahertz. Frequency is 10 gigahertz. Assume TE10. That means the cutoff frequency here is a lambda c. The cutoff wavelength is 2A. And the cutoff frequency is C upon 2A. Wave transmission inside a rectangular waveguide. Here's dimension here. Now A is 4 centimeter, B is 2.5 centimeter. Must convert in meter. I repeat it. Must convert this parameter A and B in meter, then start solving. Because here the 10 gigahertz, it is an SI unit. Convert 10 into 10 to the power 9, 10 to the power 10 hertz. That is an SI unit, standard unit. So must mention and solve each and every question by using the standard method. And just see the last line. The distance between twice minimum power point is 1 mm on a solitary line. Just look this two last line. The distance between twice minimum power point is 1 mm on a solitary line. And just go with this line. This line, the separation between the two successive maxima and minima is equal to. Is this similar or different? Just think. Rishabh, what you want to Rishabh, you joined late. No? Where you have problem? Just write down. Solve this second questions. Solve the second question. The distance between twice minimum power point is 1 mm. That is here simply it mentions about the distance between the separation between the two minima point is 1 mm. That means the D2 minus D1 is 1 mm. It is clearly mentioned here. You need to simply find out the VSWR. Given that D2 minus D1 is 1 mm, that is 10 to the power minus 3 meter. F is this. A is portion 0.04, B is this 0.025 meter. We know that the formula of VSWR is lambda g upon pi D2 minus D1. Put this formula. Before that, we need to find out the lambda g. How we find out the lambda g? Lambda c is 2a, that is this. Lambda naught is c upon f, this. And by using this formula, 1 upon this and this, just find out the lambda g. And put this lambda g here, you will get the 10.3. Just remember, the VSWR, if the VSWR is greater than 10, you use the slotted line technique. That is the double minima method. Here the value of VSWR is greater than 10.3. If you putting all the terms and the VSWR is less than 10, then that time the accuracy of VSWR means slotted line technique is not so much high. So prefer the slotted line technique when you can just find out, we can estimate the VSWR is greater than 10. That time this empirical formula will hold. Everyone try to solve the question. Ashish, you just joined right now. Go this questions. Here is a numerical. This is a numerical is already come in exam. Simply you need to put the formula. VSWR is equal to lambda g upon pi d2 minus d1. d2 minus d1 is 1 mm is given there, and lambda c. And how to find out, the main problem is how to find out the lambda g by using the formula 1 upon lambda naught whole square is equal to 1 upon lambda c whole square plus 1 upon lambda g whole square. By you putting this all the terms in always in SI unit, you will get the answer, and it will always greater than 10, above than 10. That is the 10.3. This is the question number second. Now move to the question number 3. A slotted line is used to measure the frequency, and it was found that the distance between the nulls is 1. Distance between nulls is maxima or minima. That means the d2 minus d1 is given there. 1.85 centimeter is 1.85 into 10 power minus 2 meter, and the guided dimension is this. Calculate the frequency. Here you need to find out the frequency. In the first question you need to find out the attenuation, second question you need to find out the VSWR, and third question you need to find out the frequency. Apply the same formulas there. First find out the lambda g by using the double minima method. Then lambda c is already known here because this is the guided dimensions. It is 371.5. So let the mode is TE10, dominant mode. Then the cutoff frequency is 2A. That means the 6 centimeter, 0.06 meter. Lambda c is known, lambda g is known. Then you can find out the lambda naught. And c upon lambda naught is f. Simply you can find out. Everyone try to solve this question. See how you can solve the questions. Solution. First write down what is the given that. Let's suppose it is a T01 mode, 10 mode. Lambda c 2A, that means 6 centimeter, 0.06 meter. Lambda is 2 d2 minus d1, that is a 1.85, 3.7 centimeter, that means 0.037 meter. And we do this formula. You need to apply this, and you will get the lambda naught. This will come in meter. By applying first for finding the frequency, that means the f naught, we must have a lambda naught. And how you find out the lambda naught? By using this formula. For finding the lambda naught, you must have a guided wavelength and cutoff wavelength. Cutoff wavelength comes from the mode, whatever mode is given there. We know the cutoff frequency formula is c by 2 under root m by a ka whole square, that plus n by b whole square. This is the cutoff frequency formula, and put the value n equal to 0, m equal to 1, and just it divided by the c upon f naught, it will give the lambda c, that is a 2a. This is the well-known lambda c cutoff wavelength, 2a. By applying this, you get lambda c easily. By using the slotted line technique, double minima method, you will get the lambda g. In one of the question in the quiz, I have mentioned that the distance between a maxima and minima is 4.47 centimeter. You can find out this question in the quiz 5, quiz of unit 5, where distance between the distance between maxima and minima is 4.47. That means that the distance between two maxima is lambda g by 2, and distance between lambda maxima and minima is lambda g by 4. That is simply distance between two maxima or two minima is lambda g by 2. Distance between one maxima and next minima is maxima, then minima. The distance between the maxima and minima is lambda g by 2, lambda g by 4, sorry. You just keep these terms. Always remember, whenever the solving the questions, you just recall this term and you can easily find out the answer. This way lambda naught, here it gives the lambda naught, and applying this formula you will get the f naught. That means a 9.52 gigahertz. That is the f naught. Now move to the next question, that is the question number 4. Here two identical directional coupler are used in a waveguide to sample the incident and reflected wave, reflected power. The output of the two couplers are found to be 2.5 milliwatt and 0.15 milliwatt. That means incident power is 2.5 milliwatt and reflected power is 0.15 milliwatt. Find the value of VSWR in the waveguide. This is the question of simply MFT. You can also find out by applying this formula. Deflection coefficient rho is equal to under root PR upon PI. It will be 0.244. VSWR equal to 1 plus reflected power, reflection coefficient upon 1 minus reflection coefficient. It gives the 1.64. This is the reflection coefficient, that is the portions VSWR. This is the question number 4. Simply applying the formula. This is the previous questions for this. Now the question for the homework. VSWR is mentioned 20 gigahertz, one is there. This is to successive minima is 1.5 millimeter. You can easily solve these questions. VSWR is lambda g by pi d2 minus d1. d2 minus d1 is given there. Lambda c you can calculate 2 into a, here 4.2 to 8.4. You can find out the lambda c. Here lambda naught is given there, c upon f naught, and you can find out the lambda g. Putting the formula VSWR lambda g upon pi d2 minus d1, you can find out, you can easily get the answer of these questions. This is the whole about the complete class of the frequency meters and numerical associated with this unit. Those who have joined late, just now I have before starting the lectures I have announced few terms. There is an announcement. First is, from tomorrow onward you need to be active in Google Classroom also. How you will just access the Google Classroom? Whatever you have mentioned in the college, or you just fill in the Google Classroom in the Google form. I have sent the invitations. You must accept it. Those who are already there, no problem there for that. Those who have not joined, I have named earlier the few students. They must accept the invitations. You can check the mail, and also the spam box is there. Then after joining this, any one of the faculty member, any one of the faculty from section A to D will post one of the question of the day, that will be known as the question of the day. And a question of the day just retrieve from the previous question simply. That will be, sometime it will be subjective, sometime it's a short answer, and sometime it will be long, depending upon the frequent asking the question. You need to first read the questions and find out from where it is retrieved, and then you need to solve the questions on your paper pen mode. After solving this, take a picture and upload in the same comment section where there's a question is posted. From there, below you can see the post your answer. There you can simply click the picture and post your answer. And on top you must mention your roll number and name, so that we can easily find out. If section, then it's very good. Then we can easily trace which student has posted the questions, and next day we'll upload the correct answer. So everyone must participate. From there it will be easily traceable. Those who are active there, definitely their attendance will mark. And also imparters, both you must be active in a Google Classroom as well as in imparters. And I advise everyone must download the all lectures of microwave and control and other subjects too. From the imparters you must download all the lectures for the future reference. And if you have any doubts, you can post the questions in a Google Classroom also, or simply you can solve the question of the day. And you must send the quiz and assignment on the respective faculty through mail. Do not post any assignment or quiz in the Google Classroom. Google Classroom only for the discussion, and you can fetch the notes and PPT and any announcement there. But do not post the quiz and assignment in the Google Classroom. Quiz and assignment, the mode of submission is only mail to the respective teachers. I have sent the marks to the most of the student. Okay, good.